got his hooks on everything from oil theft to human trafficking.
He was shot at me last night by the sniper we think of.
Fuck off, Santiago.
We're in front of the church at 10 p.m. San Carlos.
No.
In Colombia, a powerful cartel kingpin is enjoying himself in a jacuzzi with a woman when suddenly, his night comes to an abrupt and brutal end. A single sniper shot pierces through the air and kills him instantly in the water. Thousands of miles away in Virginia, a former Marine spends the evening alone in a small motel room, drowning his pain in alcohol, surrounded by old photographs of his squad. He's reminded of all the brothers in arms he's lost over the years. The weight of PTSD and survivor's guilt consumes him, and unable to fight his demons any longer, he loads his gun and tragically takes his own life. Days later, his funeral is held with full honors. Among the mourners is Master Sergeant Brandon Beckett, an elite sniper and former squadmate of the fallen Marine. Brandon is heartbroken, struggling to understand how such a skilled and respected soldier could come to such an end. His friend, Major Miller, reminds him that years of combat leave invisible scars, and even the strongest warriors can be broken. Brandon quietly fears that one day, the same fate might await him. Before he can grieve properly, Miller assigns him a new mission: help the DEA in Colombia. Brandon resists, but Miller insists. The car and jet are already waiting. Upon arrival in Bogotá, Brandon is met by a driver who can't stop praising him for his legendary reputation as one of the best snipers alive. At the National Police headquarters, Brandon meets Captain Garza, who represents Colombian law enforcement, and Santiago, a young officer assigned to assist him. To his surprise, Brandon also reunites with his estranged father, Master Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Beckett. Though father and son are glad to see each other, they keep things professional, addressing each other only by rank. The briefing reveals their target: Morales, a brutal cartel boss whose empire controls more than half of the contraband routes into the U.S. Morales is notorious for recruiting children off the streets and raising them as killers. He disappeared for 10 years, but his sudden return has been marked by the systematic assassination of his rivals, all executed with impossible sniper shots. The DEA believes Morales has hired a professional sniper known only as El Diablo. The DEA and Colombian police prepare to raid Morales' farm, with Brandon providing cover from the forest. However, the operation turns into a massacre. The house explodes in a massive trap, killing most of the agents. Garza survives briefly but is soon wounded by El Diablo, who then sets his sights on DEA agent Kate Estrada. She rushes to help Garza, but El Diablo shoots him dead, using the moment to lure her into his crosshairs. Brandon counters, nearly taking El Diablo down, but the assassin narrowly escapes. Back at base, Homeland Security agent Samson furiously demands answers, suspecting that someone inside the police leaked their plans. Brandon also notices El Diablo deliberately targeted Kate, not Garza. Tensions run high as Samson suggests shutting down the mission, but Kate refuses. Brandon proposes a deal: give them 48 hours to track the sniper, or they'll all return home. Later, at the DEA safe house, Brandon grows uneasy. Despite heavy security, he knows no fortress is safe from a skilled sniper. Meanwhile, El Diablo learns their location and prepares for another strike. Brandon also begins researching the advanced bullets El Diablo uses: smart, laser-guided rounds capable of bending trajectory, something almost impossible to counter. Kate struggles with the loss of Garza, blaming herself for his death. She confides in Brandon, admitting she has never lost a man under her command before. Their grief-stricken partnership is strained, especially after Brandon accuses her of being too focused on Morales, ignoring the sniper who has already cost them so many lives. A local priest named Carlos, respected for his work with the poor, warns Kate that she cannot win against Morales. Yet when he sees her determination, he shares what little information he knows. El Diablo is Morales' hired gun, and his girlfriend might lead them to him. Acting on the lead, Kate visits Maria, but the woman betrays her, drawing Morales' thugs. Brandon rushes in to save Kate, killing several attackers. In the chaos, they manage to capture clues linking Maria to El Diablo. Knowing someone in their circle is leaking intel, Brandon and Kate go into hiding with Carlos' help. From there, Brandon begins a one-man war against Morales' network, assassinating cartel lieutenants and associates one by one. Miller grows concerned, warning Beckett that Brandon is spiraling out of control. Carlos, however, tries to guide Brandon spiritually, reminding him that the only way to escape the same fate as his fallen comrade is to forgive himself. Meanwhile, Morales is growing impatient. He confronts El Diablo, paying him to finally eliminate Brandon and Kate. Not long after, Carlos is kidnapped and strung up in public as bait. Brandon manages to free him with a sniper shot, but El Diablo retaliates by killing Carlos in cold blood. His death devastates the community, and especially Kate, who considered him a trusted ally. At the priest's funeral, Brandon spots one of Morales' surviving men and captures him. The thug eventually cracks, giving up Morales' hideout. DEA forces raid the location and finally arrest Morales, planning to extradite him to the U.S. Brandon, however, warns that El Diablo will not let his employer reach Miami alive. Sure enough, El Diablo secretly enters the United States under a fake passport and arms himself with advanced weaponry. In Florida, Brandon, Kate, Beckett, and Miller devise a trap. A decoy convoy carrying a hooded figure meant to resemble Morales. While the real Kingpin travels hidden in a disguised van, El Diablo attacks, blowing up the decoy, but Brandon seizes the opportunity and takes the shot, finally killing his rival sniper once and for all. The convoy safely delivers Morales to custody. But the mission reveals one last betrayal. Agent Samson was the mole all along, leaking DEA secrets to Morales and El Diablo. Confronted with evidence, Samson confesses, claiming he believed working with Morales was the only way to stop a greater threat. Kate, enraged by the countless deaths his betrayal caused, punches him before he's arrested. With Morales in custody and El Diablo dead, the mission ends. Miller returns to Washington, while Beckett decides it's finally time to retire, sharing a rare and heartfelt embrace with his son. Brandon, having faced his demons and proven himself once more, considers staying on with Kate, realizing that maybe babysitting for the DEA isn't such a bad path after all.